Now, the average American does not have $1,000 in their checking account, let alone have enough money to live off of when they retire. Most of them think that this is probably due to the fact that they aren't making enough money or that they're in a terrible living situation. And yes, while that is true for some cases, majority of the time, it has to do with their daily habits. That's where I want to go into this video and talk about the 20 habits that I currently do and have done in order to build my wealth and be where I'm at today. So with that, let's get started. Hello, my name is Sarah, and this channel covers all things engineering, finance, and personal development. Now, the very first habit is to pay yourself first. So whenever I get a paycheck, I put 50% of it into my brokerage account. Then whatever's remaining is what I use to live off of, whether it be paying for bills or groceries or shopping or anything like that. That is what I use it for. And there's no worry about whether or not I'll have enough money left over to put away. The next one is max out retirement accounts. Now, this may not apply to everyone because you may not make enough money to max out your retirement account, but in my case, I was and am. So that's what I do first. I front load my 401k and then I max out my after-tax account and make sure that I get my employer match. But if you're in the case where you don't have enough to fully max out your 401k, but you do get an employer match, at least hit that number so that you can get that money because that's free money. The next one is to automatically invest. So when I put my money away into a brokerage account or my tax advantage accounts, I have it set up so that it automatically invests into an index fund or an ETF. And the particular ETFs and index funds I use are ones that follow or track the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. If you put your money away into any sort of tax advantage account or brokerage account, automatically invest it. Don't let it sit there. Make sure that it is being invested because that amount of money will compound over time and grow. And as the saying goes, time in the market beats timing the market. So the sooner you have your money invested, the better off you'll be. Even just $5 is enough. It will grow over time. Next one is monitor investment performance. For the average person, it's best to check your investment performance probably every 6 months to once a year. It's really not important to check it as frequently if you plan on having that money in there for at least 10 years. And if your allocation is off than what you expect, or say you are expecting an X amount of return and you're getting 3 or 4% below that, then it might be wise to change into a different ETF or a different index fund. The next one is cooking at home. Nowadays, eating out at restaurants and even fast food places has become extremely expensive. So what I like to do is I like to just make my own meals and make sure that it's ready to go, have a meal plan ready, prep it maybe Sunday, and then I eat that throughout the week. There's really no issues there because I love what I eat. I like the meals that I make, and because of that, I don't even crave going out to eat. And usually when I do, I don't feel the best. So there's two benefits to cooking at home. One is that you are saving a lot of money, and two is that you will most likely feel better and improve your health. Some people may say that, well, it might actually be cheaper to eat out, or it's actually cheaper because there's these deals that these restaurants have or that these fast food places have. Well, that may be the case in very few situations if there is a really good deal, but those deals don't last forever. It's probably for 1 day or 2 days at most, or it's very infrequent. So in the meantime, for the rest of the year, it would still be better to cook at home because you can buy in bulk and that makes it a lot cheaper for making those dishes. For example, my lunch consists of a big salad with some protein thrown on top. So I meal prep that and it lasts me for 5 days. Whereas if I were to go and eat at Panera, for example, or even Chick-fil-A, each meal is probably about $10. So that's like $50 versus $20 or $30 that I would have spent eating out. And this also doesn't take into account the amount of trips I would have to take to those places, and that will suck up gas and time, which does cost money. Cooking at home really did help in building wealth. The next one is shopping smart. Now, there's a lot of products out there and a lot of advertisement and a lot of FOMO, so to speak, that people will want you to buy their products. They want you to buy the clothes, they want you to buy the jewelry. However, it is best to really think about what you're going to buy and think to yourself, is it going to improve my life? Will I actually benefit from this? Will I use it? And if any of those answers are no, then it's best to just not buy that product. Doing this helped me save hundreds of dollars because I identified what were wants versus what were needs, and I was able to not spend as much on getting replacements for the things that I did buy because I bought high quality products. This leads me to the next one, which is wearing similar outfits. Now, there are many people who buy a variety of shirts and shoes and pants and shorts, all in the name of making sure that they have a different outfit each day. However, I don't think they realize that people don't really care what they look like because they're focused on themselves. And it's human nature, which is okay. It's just that people don't really realize that you wore the same shirt twice this week. Knowing that helped me personally realize that I can iterate through the same outfits throughout the week. I don't need to buy 30 or 40 pairs of shirts or have 15 different pairs of shoes. And so that's one habit that I've picked up, which is to just keep a consistent outfit. If you're someone who is wanting to dress up and wear different clothes, that's great, that's fine. But if you don't have the money or the means to do so, it's best to just work with what you have and not buy those new things. However, if you're adamant on buying new clothes and wanting to change your outfit every day, then I'd suggest purchasing the clothes at a thrift store. So at Goodwill or at TJ Maxx or one of those other ones that have the clothes reduced, because buying them new ultimately is not worth it. Doing this helped me save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, which I instead used to invest. The next one is to exercise. As we get older, we're much more likely to develop health issues, and with these issues come a lot of medication or time with a doctor and time in the hospital, which costs money. However, if you develop the habit of exercising every day, this will lower the probability of having to take very little, if any, trips to the doctor aside from the yearly checkups. And that will save thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Being able to prevent that will help you in the long run and will help you not only build wealth, but also maintain that wealth when you do retire. The next one is to just get a very basic, no frills haircut. This is something that I do because I personally don't have any desire to dye my hair or to do anything drastic with it, because with my long hair and the amount that I have, it will cost a lot of money to dye it or to do anything fancy with it. So whenever I go to the hair salon, which is probably every 8 months, I just get a trim, maybe 4 inches off, and that costs about $45 to $50, which is significantly better than if I were to continuously dye it or get highlights or anything of that sort. Just keeping haircuts or anything like that to a minimum is the best, and to go as infrequently as possible. It has saved me hundreds of dollars. So the next one is to practice minimalism. Practicing minimalism will help you build wealth because you will be selling stuff that you currently have, or you won't be consuming as much. So you'll either be spending less or making money. Personally, what I do is I will go through my room, see if there's anything that I don't use anymore or that I've lost interest in, and I will put it up on eBay. And if not, then I will give it to a secondhand store. I'll give it to Goodwill. This not only helps with my overall finances, but it helps with my mental state as well, because my room isn't as cluttery, there's not as much stuff in there, and it's more of a therapeutic type of task. The more you practice this will ultimately help you realize that you don't need those things, and ultimately you don't need to buy them to begin with. So if you are ever, more likely you are to ask yourself these questions, which will allow you to be mindful about what you buy and what you don't buy and not spend as much money. And so the last one is to read finance books. This helped me a lot in terms of building my wealth because I didn't quite understand the value of a dollar, and these finance books that I read really opened my eyes into growing and building your wealth as well as maintaining it. If you are someone who is just starting out and you don't really know anything about that, then I'd suggest Simple Path to Wealth, Quit Like a Millionaire, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing, and Millionaire Next Door. If you read these books, you'll know everything you need to know about finance, about saving, about building wealth, and becoming a millionaire. If you're interested in any of those books, I have them listed in the description box down below. So if you develop the habit of reading finance books every day, it will become maybe borderline an addiction, because you will want to just learn more and more and more about finances, about investing, about stocks and bonds, and just learn everything you can about it. And at the very least, if you don't find them interesting, if you read a couple pages every day, it will just help you be more mindful about your spending, because the money and finances are in the forefront of your mind. Those are all the habits that I developed that helped me build my wealth significantly over the past 4 or 5 years. I hope you guys found this useful and helpful, and if you did, please give this video a like and a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.